Hello everyone, welcome back to the Savachit Scripts. So today we will discuss about arrays in Java. So here we will discuss about what is array, why we use array in Java, how we implemented array, how many types of array, characteristics of array, advantage, disadvantage of array. You can say everything in single video. So we will before we start, I would like to say please like and subscribe to be more good videos. Okay, let me start then. What is array? The first thing, array. Why array is? So array is a collection of similar type of element stored in contiguous memory allocations under a single name. Each element accessed using a index number, as you can say in the definition. Now, the question is, what is similar type of elements? So similar type of elements is the single data types, like similar data types. So if you wanted to create an array for int, so you can only store the integers, not double, not string, not characters. You can only store the integers. So this is the similar type of elements. Now the question is continuous memory. Continuous memory is whenever you create an array, it will create a memory like this. Okay. Now let's suppose, let me suppose you have created this int a single array I is equal to new int size of array, suppose 3 or 5. Okay, so in this case it will create a block like this in the memory, 1 2. So indexing always start in array from 0 0 1 2 3 and 4. So arrays stored multiple values in a single variable. So here I is a variable, as you can see, and it can store multiple values. You can store is like here 4 5 6 7 9. Okay, so in a single variable you can store multiple values, and the thing is all data type with same data type of all values. Like if you are using integer here, then you can only add integer values. Array, as I told you, array indexing start with 0. Array provide fast access of elements because we are doing indexing access. We know the indexing, that's why we can say array is fast accessible. Now array element stored continuous memory allocation, I already told you, and arrays are treated as object in Java. Likewise, we have data types in Java. Data types, you know. So how many type data types? We have two: primitive, primitive. Then we have non-primitive. Primitive data types is int, float, double, char. This is the primitive data type, and the arrays and the others non-primitive, as well as you can say user-oriented data types. So this is all about the data types. How many data types? So array is treated as a objects, not a data type like a integer or this. Now let me describe array. Feature we already know. It can it can be stored same data type, not fixed size. Indexing always start with 0, as you can see here. Indexing always start with 0 and ends n minus 1. If you have array of 5 elements, then you can access from 0 to 4. Size is fixed. As we have created an array here of length 5, that means this is the fixed size. You cannot create more than 5. If you will get try to add 5 elements here, then it will works fine. But if you try to get 5 plus 1, suppose you wanted to add 6, 5 plus 1 equals sixth element. Then in the case of sixth element, it will throw error. That is index out of bound, array index out of bound. That means array will not take more than size that you have specified here. So this is all about the sizing part. Now let's discuss how many type of array. Before that, let's discuss how we can going to declare or initialize an array. So as you can see here, as I have already declared here, data type, array name, new keyword, then data type, and here size of array. So if I explain you here this, so this is a data type, this is a array name. Let me write db in the sum data type dt, then array name is a keyword, then same data type and the size of array. This is the size. So here we have created an array with the length of 5. Now how to initialize array? Initialize means how we are going to add the data in this array. So as we told you, array always start access by the indexing. Indexing always start with 0. So if you wanted to store some value at 0, it will like this 12, 1, 2, likewise 3 and 4. So that's how it will store. Now let me talk about types of array. So here you can see we have multiple types of array. Basically first is 1D array, then we have 2D array. As you can see here, we have 2D array. Let me go down there. You can see 2D array, or you can say matrix, as we have jagged array. Jagged array is you have not unequal columns, like if you have row and columns. Okay. Now let's discuss 1D array first. So how 1D array works? This is I have already we have already discussed how we can store the memory access elements from 0 like this. There's a length property, default values, type of array as we have discussed, 1D, 2D and jagged. Advantage is fast access, easy traversal, store multiple values in a one variable. Disadvantage is fixed size, you cannot change in runtime. Insertion and deletion is difficult because if you wanted to delete from last, it iterate all the elements and set the same data types only. This is the disadvantage of this. Now as we know have, if we are not provide any value to the specific array, so by default Java has provided some values for that. Let's suppose if you have created an array of integer type and you haven't provide any value, then default value will be 0. Same thing in the case of float, 0, 0.0, double 0, 0.0. In the case of character, it will the blank character like this. Then we have boolean. Boolean by default fast, and string, or in the case of string and object, it will be null. So these are the default values of the array. Now before we go in detail for multiple types, we will start from 1D array. Okay, let's see few examples so we can have a proper solution. Now I have already created a class with array basics, and I have write a method, main method, from where program will start. Now let me initialize one array int arr, and let me create a array new int and then 5. So that means it will create a array. Let me write here. It will create an array with the length of 5 elements. Now, this is great. How we have initialized. As we know, access of an an array always index based. Array always index based 0 to n minus 1. N is nothing, n is length of array. Okay. Now, suppose I wanted to add index 0 is 12. That is, it will put the data 12 at 0th index. Same likewise, array 2 is equal 13. Let me copy it, paste it there to be more precise. And then 3 and then 4. And let me add ARR1 as well. So ARR1 is suppose 22. 3, then here 10, 10, then in here 11. So now we have provided data of every index from 0 to 4. As we are, our array length is 5, so indexing from 0 to n minus 1. So here n is 5, so 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, n minus 1, starting from 0. Now this is how we have initialized. Here initialized an array. Now if you wanted to print, you wanted to know what is the value at second index. Second index is, so you just print like this. Second, it will, the output will be 13. Let me execute. Let me execute this. Then you will see the output of this program will be 13. As you know, the second index is giving 13. Now the main thing, fixed size. Now let's discuss fixed size. Size in array. So as we know, we have already provided a size of this array is 5. Now if you are going to access fifth index or more than fifth index at runtime, you will get array out of bound exception. Okay, you are getting this array index out of bound exception. That means your array is more than 5. This is how array throw the errors in case of if you are going to take more. Now this is how we declare and initialize an array, and how we can access this array like based on indexing, and how can we check like array is giving proper error or not. So index out of bound. Now this is all about 1D array. Okay, if you wanted to print all the elements, then you can iterate by a for loop int I equals 0, I less than array dot length. So this array length is a property of the Java that gives you the length of an array. How many length of this array? Now I plus plus. If you going to print ARI, now you'll get all the elements. Let me print it, comment it out here because otherwise it will throw the error. Now let me execute again. So you can see 12, 22, 13, 10 and 11. That's how single D arrays works. So this is all about the single D array. The next video we learn about 2D array and jagged array. So if you have any doubt regarding single D array, please reach out to me, comment over there in the video. I'll update you. Thank you.